Hey everyone, today we are doing a spread. I'm practicing this because it's a spread that I made up. It's a spread I would like to use with future clients. So we're doing this for the collective right now. Anyone who really feels like this applies to them, it probably does, and it's probably going to apply to me too, because that's how readings work. Like if I read them, then there's something to do with my life a little bit. So my focuses as a psychic are on career, health, money. Those are my areas of expertise. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to cut the deck, and then I'm going to find the first card that's a major arcana, and that's going to be the significator card. That is going to represent you in this reading. This is where everything comes back to. So in this one, ideally, you would have a question of like, I want to do this thing. How do I do it? What will happen if I do it? Good and bad and ugly and awesome and all of it, okay? And then how will it turn out? So these are the areas. Significator card, self-love, work, impact on life. So from the top, we're going out, right? Significator card being in the middle, and then self-love, work, and then overall impact. And then this way, the what and when are you, or where are you? And then what are you doing so well? Who to hold close? What needs to change? Who to shed? And then on the bottom, how will this turn out? And a final message. Excuse me. Dr. Pepper. Okay. So first, I don't know why I'm nervous. This is my spread. This is my video, but I do feel a little nervous. It's been a weird week. Today is the day of the Sagittarius full moon, and I will be dancing later, but I wanted to do this first. I feel like I need to get centered. I need to kind of collect myself. And while the dancing does make me super grounded, you know, the learning from it usually happens afterwards. So I'm just kind of shuffling right now. The Psychic Dancing Witch. I'm also a pianist. I like have too many skills. So many things. The trick is narrowing it down. I was given a reading by a professional psychic on my birthday. In which I was told, I have too many irons in the fire. I'm trying to do too many things at the same time because I have so many talents. I'm just one of those people who is made to be magnetic. Like, beautiful, graceful, talented, magnetic, right? Good at so many things. But I cannot, you know, become successful unless I hone in on one thing. Or I will be somewhat successful, but I want to be rich. So I'm working toward that. Yes, Mom. Okay, so we're splitting the deck. Tell me what you need to do in this reading for myself and the collective, okay? We're looking for the first. I found it. You are the devil in reverse. Dun dun dun. Like that. um, and some of them, his tongue is out. This one, no. Okay, so everything's going to go back to that. You are, I'm not saying that you're the devil, right? I'm saying that this card is representing who you are right now to yourself and other people. You are so beguiling. You are so interesting. But people are a little bit afraid of you. Like they're a little bit afraid to become attached to you or to watch your content because they might like it. They're worried that if they like it, it says something about them. Really, it doesn't. I mean, if it does, it says only good things. But yeah, interesting. So that's who you are to other people. Your Capricorn energy. I am very heavy Capricorn. The number 15. Change. Magic and change. That results in a newfound balance and harmony. So you are very self-possessed. And people see you as a threat. And it's not that you are actually a threat, it's that because you have so much personal power, you are intimidating. Even when, on your days that you feel like, what, I'm just wearing sweatpants at home. How can I be intimidating? You are. Because you have this presence about you. So what needs to change, right? I think we're gonna do what are you doing so well to start. I probably shouldn't be shuffling as I'm doing this, but I do that sometimes just to give my hands something to do. But yeah, in the future I probably won't. Just start from there because that was my intention. My intention was to start from that and then just go through the cards. Okay, but this is practice round, so you get it. Devil. You devil you. Embody it. Do it. Who cares? It's just life. You're gonna get more of them. Why not be the villain? Are you afraid to be the villain in someone's story? Because I guarantee you, the moment that you step into the limelight or you step into your power, you will be the villain to somebody. You will present a threat to somebody. And it doesn't matter because, honestly, you're not really a threat to them. Only they are a threat to them. In this area, they are afraid to be like you because you get so much attention and because they think these negative things about you. So they think that other people would think that about them. But actually, they think other people think these things about you too, but they don't. Most people, when they see you, your content, or what you're doing in your life, when they see you stepping into your power and your ability to be magnetic, right? Your ability to step out of the box, be who you really are, be your own main character, and be okay with being the villain in other people's lives. I'm not saying that you're mean. I'm not saying that you're doing anything against other people. Actually, just by prioritizing yourself and your needs, you're somehow threatening other people. And it doesn't make sense. But that's what's happening. Sorry. Just keep being yourself, though. I mean, you're already the villain, so you might as well continue to be. You know, they only see you as a villain because they wish they could be you. but they're afraid to be you. And so they're projecting all these ill intentions on you. Or they're saying maybe you're just looking for attention, or they're saying maybe you're just trying to be extra, whatever that means. Extra is how everyone should be, if you ask me. My cat just said hello. So, Charlie agrees. Be yourself. Think about cats, too. Cats are themselves unapologetically. There's a quote, it's like, when a cat enters the room, they never question if they have a right to be there. It's something like that. It's just, is there something I can eat or fuck up in here? If not, well, you're lucky to have me. Like, that's the energy of this devil in reversed, okay? You reflect that to people. And so people who are not confident in who they are, people who feel less than, even though what you're doing is nothing about them, they think it's about them a little bit, or maybe entirely, which is hilarious because you probably don't even think about them. But as long as you're going to be the devil in someone's story, you might as well embrace it, because you're not going to go anywhere. So we're going to start with who you are at this point in your life to yourself and other people. Is this, I think we're going to go, trying to decide how to do this. I think we're going to go upwards. So the self. How does this impact your self? You're the Fool in reversed. Okay. Yeah, you're doing this thing for the first time, right? You're stepping out into the limelight, being as big as you really are for the first time. And maybe people saw you before when you were like showcasing a little bit, like a 10% of your talent. Maybe they thought that you were already big news, big deal, big star. But you weren't. It's time to stop playing small. It's time to take the risks, because guess what? You already did it. You already did this. You already are this. So who cares? You might as well do it to the max now. You might as well just decide that, yes, it's time to take the leap. And I think you've already taken the leap. I've already taken the leap. Putting yourself out there as your true self takes extreme courage. And people think that you're being selfish by doing it. That's so weird to me. Because you're not. You're just being yourself. And it's not your fault that yourself is fabulous. You actually, it is kind of, because you did the work to get here. And they didn't. They didn't do it. You did it. To become fabulous, you have to become, like, to become your queendom, to step into your power as queendom. Queendom is just power over yourself and taking direction and charge of your own life. It's not becoming a big superstar, unless it is. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. But yourself, here and here, this is a really interesting juxtaposition, because here you're magnetic, interesting, beguiling. People can't get enough of you. Like, maybe a lot of people are watching your content, but no one's sharing it. I'm kind of in that boat. Only a couple of people actually share or repost my content, but my #1 video has like 27,000 views and 0 reposts. So people don't know how to feel about it. They see that, they like it, they watch it all the way to the end. They think that you're interesting and something different, and they want to watch and see what you do, and they almost want to watch and see you fail. But you're not going to fail, because how could you fail? All that you're doing is being yourself. You're not going to get in any trouble being yourself if this is your path in this timeline, in this lifetime, right? So you might experience issues, and sure as hell have, but Those people who are giving you the issues, that's the universe's way of saying, let this one go. Let them go. They don't deserve you. It's fine. So this being in reverse says you're feeling a little bit scared to take the leap, but you need to realize that you already did it. So now you might as well keep doing it and show them out. They're wrong. They were all wrong about you. It's not conceited to promote yourself and what you do. And you are one of the rare people who is so self-assured in their power, that in their sovereignty, right? In your sovereignty over yourself and your actions, like you actually think through everything that you do before you do it. And people think that you're just doing things in spite of society. You're actually doing things for yourself, and you're not worrying about society because you know society's going to catch up to you eventually, right? You weren't put here to be a follower. You were put here to be a leader. You were put here to lead a generation of people who need someone just like you to follow. Like, not everyone is capable of being you. It takes so much strength. It takes a lot of heavy emotions being worked through. It's not like the prize at the end. This is a continual journey. The fool's journey, it's a continual journey to enlightenment and to your dreams coming true. And this is life. I'm not going to be here selling you this bullshit idea that everything works out every time just exactly how you think it should. It doesn't. It does work out every time as it should, according to divine timing, according to the creator, the universe, the gods, whoever you want to say it is. It doesn't matter. To me, it's all the same thing, right? I'll go into that further on a different video because my belief system has changed so many times over the years, and right now I feel like I really know what I'm talking about. But you have the courage, the strength, and you're not afraid to be different. You're not afraid to be yourself in their faces because honestly, you couldn't do anything else. This is you. You couldn't be the person who just goes with the flow and follows the fold, and goes in the footsteps of the people before them, because you are not put here to do that. That's not your purpose. So it's almost impossible for you to do that. Whenever you try to do that, you fail miserably. You fail spectacularly. And that's because the universe has other plans for you, and they're kind of being like, excuse me? Don't you recognize that you are supposed to be someone special here? Don't you recognize that this is not your role? Like, I think deep in your heart, if you're resonating with this, you know that you are kind of extra special at the things that you're very good at. You're not just like 80th percentile good at. You're like a genius level good at. You're like 99th percentile in the things that you're good at. You're amazing. You were put here to be a leader, and you don't just come by this naturally. You do put in the work, but things come easier to you that are aligned with your path. So stop doing the things that feel hard and start doing the things that you are really good at. Even if you can't see the way forward, you don't have to. You're the fool. All you have to do is trust and take the leap. But you already have taken the leap. So all you have to do is trust that the leap that you took was the right leap. Next card, love. How is this, you being this, right now at this time of your life, you being the devil in reversed, attractive, magnetic, seductive without meaning to be, how is that going to impact your love life, right? Which, I don't know. Uh-oh. Okay, that's not great. But if you're here, you need to see this. I might even have needed to see this because going down this path for me has been rocky in my relationship. We are still together, we still love each other, we're doing everything right, I think. But it's put a lot of strain on it because I'm going somewhere different. I live in a small town in rural Midwest. Um, in every other sense of the world, I'm a teacher, I'm a pianist. People expect me to be a certain way, and people have me right now kind of in their box. But I don't really fully fit in those boxes. They're a part of me, but I also have this other side, this like supremely artistic side that needs to be expressed, and it's been dormant for too long. But the structures that you have in place, your marriage, your family, make sure that they understand what you're doing. The friends, the like, they're not really friends if they're leaving you about this. Um, the people who are just watching from the sidelines, just don't even worry about them. But you will need to take special care in your close relationships to make sure that you are not railroading other people with this big burn it down energy that you have in your heart. You're meant to be with these people. I mean, I guess I can't speak for everyone, but the people in this collective, if you feel like that person is still your person, and maybe it's just like a rough patch right now, in most situations where there is a free spirited partner, there is a very by the book partner. Generally, two free spirits don't mesh, right? So, at least in a romantic setting, maybe for a little while, but free spirits need someone who is traditional to kind of, I don't know what to say, like not pin them down because that sounds negative, but I mean remind them of reality, right? And we sure don't like to hear it, but sometimes we need to. And so for me, that person is my partner. For you, it may be your partner too. Um, Make sure you're not breaking their heart. Make sure you don't say anything negative about them on the internet. Make sure that you are just being yourself and not like spouting bad things about them. Um, Keep it internal, keep it within the family if it's something that comes up, because their reaction is within their right. And it's hard for me to say this because it directly applies to me. But doing this is something you decided to do on your own. You didn't really consult them, and that's okay because they're not your boss, right? They're not the boss of you, they're your partner, they're supposed to support you. And they will. They'll come around if you give them the space to do so, but make sure you're not breaking their heart in the process. Make sure that you're not being irresponsible with their devotion to you, right? Make sure that you are giving back, because them allowing you to be yourself in general is a huge gift from them. And I almost hate saying this because it's like reflection back in my face, but to this person, they wouldn't be with you if you were like this, if they didn't love you a lot, because they are so traditional and so ruled by rules and laws and regulations, right? That's the life that they live. That's who they are. That's who they were put here to be. So they're not wrong, and neither are you. But you guys together, it's not always easy, right? Because you've got them who is kind of in a box, and you who's like, wee! And they're trying to be like, hey, remember me, and you're being like, what? No, I need to do this, and you just need to like follow. We have to remember that this is a partnership, right? It's two people creating a life together. So you're really stressing them out right now. And I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong. I'm just saying you're really stressing them out right now. And be careful. Be cognizant, I guess, of not dragging them. But sometimes, you can still do your thing, but in your personal life, come back and check in on them and make sure that they at least can understand what you're doing and why. And it's not about hurting them, right? Because even though it might a little bit, it's going to work itself out. It's going to be fine. People look at me and they don't think that person is like so in a box. People see me and I dress like a free spirit, and I am one outwardly. I have been for years. It's like impossible to not be, right? So people aren't really that surprised by what I do. Sometimes they're surprised that I have the guts to do it, but they're not really surprised by me being myself. So me being myself actually doesn't put my husband in danger, but it is harder for him than it would be for someone more like me. So foster your relationship. Make sure that the love is still strong. Make sure that you are not forgetting about them and going too far into your fool's journey and not listening. And it kind of like, I don't know what to say. I'll come back to that one. The balance is going to come, right? But things might be a little off balance right now. And it's going to work out. I'm not worried that it won't work out because you are smart and you are able to check in with your partner. And you probably were with your partner before this started, like when you were thinking about doing it, and then when you actually did it. The thing that they have to understand is that this isn't even a choice that you had. You just like reached a point in your life that you had to be yourself, because not being yourself was really hard on your health and mental health. And you discovered that the answer was to just be yourself now and stop trying to please other people because you never did anyway. And so you're breaking your own heart by not being yourself, especially if, like me, you were experiencing a lot of pain and issues in the chest region. It's because you weren't allowing your true self to become. You were trying to squish it for the comfort of other people, including your partner. So, but you're too big. You're too big for your body. You can't be stuck here. You are meant to just blast energy. You're meant to be the sun, the star. Like, you're meant to be seen as who you are. And they know that, but just do know it's hard on them. You being seen like this by other people is especially hard on them. So give them time, give them patience, and give them love, gifts, attention, support. Help them through this because it's hard on them. It just is. Okay, so how this impacts your work now. Two of Pentacles. You have to make a choice now. Your old self, who was just yourself squished in a box, aligns with one path. And your new self, which is just yourself bigger, which is who you should be. No one ever said this was easy, okay? So I will never be a psychic who will tell you this is all fun and rainbows and wow, everything's so good for you. I can't even believe how good it is. Like, I sometimes watch those people, and I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm just saying that it's too easy, right? Right? Like, things don't get handed to you. You do have to work. And, you know, that's why I'm a witch and not a new ager, right? Because I embody the light and the dark together. That's why when I see that people are perceiving me as the devil in reverse, I'm like, yep. I'm not like, oh, like, part of becoming your full self is becoming your light and your dark, is actually embodying both sides, not just the side that makes people comfortable. And really, the side that makes you people comfortable is like the gray middle, and that's gross anyway, right? Be yourself. Be big, big bad, big good. To everyone, you're going to be something different. Who cares? And most people will not ignore you. Okay, so believe it or not, you could show up to Walmart in sweatpants and people would look at you and wonder about you because that's just who you are. Okay, you're just that magnetic, you're just that interesting to people because you look different. Your energy is different and they can see it and they might not know why and they want to know why and they want to know more about you. That's why when you fully step into your power, you're going to attract moths to the flame, and a lot of them will be bad moths for you. So you do have to protect yourself. But yeah, in your old path, in your small path, you were this one and now you're being called to be this one. Your career, you will change when you step into your queendom. It almost always changes. Either you just leave your job and you go to another position in the same field, or you completely switch and do something completely different and more fun and more aligned and more exciting and more what you should be doing. So the universe will start like giving you rewards for that, right? So it's good. It's good. It's good to be in your queendom, but it's not easy because things do have to fall away unless you were born into your queendom, which I don't know that anyone is. So your career is going to adjust to match your vibration, right? You're gonna find the career that you always wanted and actually stop chasing, stop looking. It's just gonna show up out of nowhere because that's how the universe works. When you are aligned, when you are in your power, things come into your life. You don't find them, they find you. It's like that don't call us, we'll call you. The universe will call you. You'll know. And how you'll know is because it'll be a little scary, but almost irresistible. And not scary as in like this will ruin me. Scary as in this is going to impact me and my husband and other people in my life. This is going to be a change that everyone's going to have to adapt to, including myself. That level's scary. But if you're not a little scared, it's not even worth it. Your comfort zone. Okay, I'm going to say something that I'm sure will offend somebody, but the comfort zone was not designed for the free spirit. The comfort zone was designed for the sheep. So you don't even fit there anyway. You are, I'm trying to even think what you are, because you're not a wolf, right? Because a wolf is too aligned with its pack, right? It's too within the structure. I'm gonna say you're a fox. There you go. You're too brilliant to fit in anywhere, right? So that's why you make your own stuff. Creatives, artists don't fit in with other people. They pretty much fit in with other creatives and artists. And they're either admired or admonished by everyone else. So the people in the comfort zone that you even have, someplace that's been your comfort zone, it is not for you. The moment you step into your queendom, everything in your life goes away, changes, becomes different. You have to be careful. People are going to call you selfish. People are going to say, how could you? People are going to think that what you're doing is about them. It's not. Um, this takes an act of courage and bravery to follow your path, and most people do not have it. And so that is why I charge the money I do for my readings and for my coaching, because I only want people who are serious. I only want people who really want to change and people who will do the work between sessions. I'm not going to be there to fluff them up. I'm going to be there to tell them straight, and I'm going to be there to provide wisdom based on what I know. So your career is going to be one of the things that changes. And that's okay. It's going to be fine. This year, for me, is just a year of change and growth and strength and forward motion. And it's like I'm just hanging on. But I'm vibing in it. You can choose. Here's the thing, you guys. You can choose to be afraid of the fool's journey, or you can choose to observe it and watch it unfold, almost like you're reading your own novel. Like, you are the main character in the story. Main characters go through stuff. Main characters have challenges. Main characters are not just shiny, yay, everything works perfect. No, main characters are main characters because they are interesting. Things happen to them. They don't just like, right? They're not like, oh goodness, what is the name of the? I'm thinking of like Harry Potter, and the family that raises him. Like that, you are like the Harry Potter. You are this like Harry Potter was to them, because they're so inside of a box and they cannot see how awesome you are. Okay. I forget what their family's last name is. So, but them, yeah. Dudley and Petunia and the other guy. Okay, so now we're gonna do, what are you doing so well, okay? Or should we do the what needs to change first? I don't know. Positive, negative. I think we just kind of did some negative, so I think we're gonna go to the positive, negative, and how will this turn out, which I know is gonna be positive. I'm not even worried. But okay, what are you doing so well is next. You got the Magician. You are magic. You are stepping out on your own. The cheese stands alone, right? This is number one. Individuality. The willingness to be different. Think like Aleister Crowley, the magician. I know he was problematic in many ways, but what he was, in addition to that, was interesting, magnetic, this. And I'm certainly not telling you to go be Aleister Crowley and do a lot of unethical things. But what you're doing so well is being yourself. You are creating a life for yourself that no one could have imagined that you would ever have the guts to create. You are a messenger. You are here for a purpose, and you are doing it. You are aligned. You are exactly what you are meant to do. You are the star, the magician, the queen. Like this is you. You are it. So I want you guys to just take a minute and recognize that through the change, the disruption, the heartbreak, the risk taking, it's intentional. Okay, it's intentional to make you be in line with your full self. And the people who are not okay with this will fall away. The people who really love you will continue to really love you. I'm thinking like even like my father, who does not support what I'm doing, still loves me a lot, right? Um, my partner who is scared by what I'm doing still loves me a lot and is willing to go on this ride with me, on this journey with me. You're not going to lose the people who are the most important to you. You will find out that some of the people aren't that important to you, or they were using you, or they were friends with you because they thought you were something different, or because they thought that they could get something out of you, that they could siphon some of that like rock star energy that you have. They can't though, because you're so protected that there's really no way that they could. So you were put here for this purpose, to be a magician, to be different, to stand out, to be a leader, life path one. Um, you know, think like you are in charge of your life now. This is correct for you. The cards never lie. The cards also never sugarcoat. And that's why tarot is great, okay? And a lot of other methods can be fluff. And if you want a fluff psychic, they're not real psychics. They just want your money. Okay? If you want one of them, go elsewhere because you're not going to get that here. And you're not going to get that from any real psychic who really understands how the cards work together, or can read an energy like this. This is reflecting myself back to me, and I'm still reading it. I'm still putting it out there because I'm like, yep, yep, got to pay more attention to my partner. Yep, got to make sure that I'm not directly putting them in danger, but so by going too fast, because that is my go-to, is to be like, I'm gonna do this, and do it impulsively, and it almost always works out for me, and then other people almost always catch up, but it's not nice to be continually doing that to other people, even if it's not your intention. So make sure you're not doing that, right? Make sure I'm not doing that. Maybe like take some breaks when they need to take a break from you charging ahead. Take one, right? Because the people in your life, the relationships that support you the most, that give you the most fulfillment, they matter more than how fast you get to your goal. Otherwise, you'll lose everything. It's like, it hits really hard right now because this is exactly what I do. I don't mean to, but I do. Okay? So, but what you're doing so well is being yourself. You're it. You're it. Good job. You made it. You are in your queendom now. You just have to deal with the fallout of your queendom. Okay, who to hold close? Interesting, the Hierophant. That was not what I was gonna get. Okay, so the people who you should be holding close or looking to find, right? These are your spiritual, I was gonna say leaders, but I don't like that. It implies like that you're following them. Look to other, if you're a psychic, look to other psychics who are actually good psychics, okay? Because there's a lot of people on the internet who are just capitalizing on a trend. We're just giving you, you're so great, I can't believe how great you are, and like everything just works out for you every time. Wow, you're so amazing at everything you do. Those people, be careful, okay? Because they are scammers. They are not real. And even if they might think they are, all that they read is fluff. Like those people will pull the Three of Swords and somehow make it that you're amazing, okay? That you are just so amazing. Other people just can't take it. You should just keep being you. If you pull the Three of Swords, it's always a reflection of there's going to be heartache and you're a part of it, okay? So down a certain path, be careful, okay? But the true psychics, if you're a psychic, follow other psychics. If you are a witch, follow other witches. Witches are the same, by the way. There's a lot of witches who aren't real witches, who are just like making spells on the internet, and they're not they're not even real. Like, they don't even work. They don't even use them. They're just like copying and pasting. But the thing is that you are such a magician. You are such a star. You can actually transmute your own energy or other people's energy to fit what you're aligning with. I don't mean like you manipulate other people. Do not manipulate other people. But you can transmute the energy that is sent your way, or you can send it right back. But I tend to transmute the energy that's sent to me to be something that serves me, right? Because energy is sent to me all the time. The internet has opened up a mass amount of attention in my direction, and I haven't even made it big yet. I'm going to, but I'm willing to put in the work. Okay, tangent. Find the people who you look up to, your elders, your spiritual gurus who are actually good. I also am scared sometimes of the word guru because it implies that they know everything. So what you're looking for is someone who's also on their own journey. It doesn't even have to be someone older than you, someone more experienced than you, but it can be. This one could also be your ancestors, okay? Yeah, I'm getting that. Hold your ancestors close. Connect with them. One of the messages that I received in my professional reading, which is awesome. She was amazing. And she did tell me some things I wanted to hear. So great, but also things I needed to hear. So who to hold close? Connect with your ancestors. That's what she told me to do. Because they are a part of you and they are in your life. As soon as you step into your queendom, they're like, yes. But then they want you to pay attention because maybe you've been just floating around being a kid for a while, and now all of a sudden you stepped into your real power, and they want to show you what to do with it, because I bet you some of them were witches, some of them were psychics, some of them were magical people, were shamans or whatever. Like, we come from such a long line, a long history of hereditary witches, whether we know it or not. Okay, so whether they knew it or not, the medicine women, the people who would like practice healing, right? So the wise women, the sages, the wise men, even like the bards, people who brought healing and that kind of energy, they exist in every lineage. Okay, so connect to yours. And sometimes you're connecting to yourself in previous iterations of you. Like, for example, I have memories of past lives that I were not from this one. And that's something that'll start happening when you start working with your ancestors. It's going to be really hard to tell. Okay, it's really hard to tell if it's your past life or if it's a memory they're sharing with you of themselves. And it's also really hard to separate yourself from your ancestors because they are you. Like, you are them and they are you. And like, the future generations on your line are also you. That's why we care what they do, right? Think of like your child or your grandchild was going in a completely misaligned way and you could see it. You'd probably say something, right? You'd probably try to get their attention. So pay attention to your ancestors. They are the change that you need to make, okay? The next question here is, what needs to change? So kind of funny how that worked out. What needs to change? Stop putting other people before yourself. It's so important that you fill up your own cup first. And it goes against everything we are taught. But you know who teaches that? The patriarchy, the church, and maybe not every church, but the church I grew up in was sure like you always treat other people the way you want to be treated. Yes, I still believe that. And you always treat other people as more important than yourself. Don't believe that. Don't believe that at all. The reason is because other people are going to look out for themselves. Like we can look out for ourselves and then give to other people, but we need to fill up our own cup first. If there's nothing left to give, then what you're going to be giving to other people isn't true generosity. It's, think of the word. It's resentment. That's the word. We're going to be giving with resentment, and giving with resentment is not true giving, right? Think about how the witches, the shamans, the healers live, right? We take care of our health and body foremost. We value our energy foremost. And then we take care of our immediate family, which is our like small time a lot of the time. We're not here trying to create followings. I mean, we probably will, but like I'm not doing all of the like hashtags and stuff, and I'm not following the TikTok rules. I'm just here being myself, trying to attract a tribe of people who are like me so I can learn from them. And I also, I'm heavy Capricorn, and I want to get rich, and I feel like this will help me get rich just because it's aligned with my path, right? I'm destined for that. And you also might be if you're here. I feel like the Aquarius and the Capricorn together make a really interesting combination in me. And then the Leo and Gemini and all the others. But very heavy in those. So, cups. Your cup needs to be full. You need to be valuing your energy over everything else. And it's going to feel like, if you're not already doing this, this is a major change that I made in the last year, and it has helped my health. It has helped my psychic abilities. It has helped my ability to do things I love because I'm not exhausted at the end of every day. I put limits on my work schedule, and I put limits on what I do within the home. Sometimes my home is messy, and it is, and I get to it when I can get to it. But what I have been prioritizing is spiritual wellness, physical wellness. A sparrow is, oh, a hummingbird is flying around my window. Hummingbirds. Wow. It keeps like knocking into my window. Like it's not getting hurt, but it's like tap, 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 hello, right? Hummingbirds. Hummingbirds. Ugh, I should look up hummingbirds. I'll look them up and maybe get back to you and what they mean, because they're really interesting. They are truly unique, and they go fast. And also they're kind of mean. People don't always know that, but hummingbirds look out for themselves. And so maybe that's what they're just like, hey, hello. Spirit guides, I tell you. Birds are spirit guides. I believe that so fully. Birds and cats. And other animals too, but birds and cats. Okay, so redirect, refocus. Cups. Your cup needs to be full. I feel like I just keep saying this over and over again, but you need to hear it, because if you're someone who is, a healer, a psychic, someone, you obviously care about other people. You're not just here for yourself. And that's why when people say you're selfish, it's ridiculous, because you're trying to serve the collective. Like you're trying to help other people. The whole work that you're doing is helping other people. I'm not selfish. I just have stopped. I've started putting boundaries up around things that I need, and I've started prioritizing like taking a shower, brushing my teeth, um, doing some sort of exercise, eating well, drinking water. Like me doing self care is an act of, it's hard because I was brought up worrying about other people first, and my own happiness and health was put bottom of the list because it was so about protecting other people and other people's feelings. And I was taught so much. You need to always think about what your actions might feel like to other people. And somewhere it got lost in translation. And it could be just because my brain is so literal that I understood that as I received all my spiritual education to mean um, you are the bottom. You are horrible. Everything that you are drawn to is evil. Um, so your energy, it comes last. And the things that you do are things that are productive, things for other people. And then you might run out of steam and then you might get sick, but it's your fault. God is punishing you. Um, no, you're punishing yourself if you're like that. You are putting yourself last and punishing yourself. People who are successful don't put themselves last. When is the last time you thought of a CEO and was like, I bet they haven't showered in a few days because they ran out of energy after all the things that they do for other people? Yes, they do things for other people. They're the boss of other people. They give other people jobs, right? So I'm not saying that they're all bad or anything. I'm just saying that, like, see, this is my conditioning. It's speaking up, being like, they might not be bad. Some of them probably are. Mm-hmm. um, See, I'm trying to protect them now. What I'm saying is protect you. No one will protect you except you. You do not need to depend on anyone to protect you, but if other people come to your aid, awesome. If other people are supporting you, awesome, but you need to put yourself first. That is what needs to change. That is the change you need to make. Listen to your ancestors, listen to your body. Make a habit of checking in with your body, like once an hour, and seeing if there's something it needs. Like right now, I need some water. And so I will get some water as soon as I'm done with this reading. I need some Dr. Pepper right now. I need some caffeine. Happiness booster. Also, ADHD treatment. Just brush your teeth. If you drink dark soda, just brush your teeth. It's fine. Right away. So, or drink water. Okay, Josie. Okay, Citrine. We're going on a tangent now. Who to shed is next. I will edit some of this out. Okay. I'm checking in with my body, and my body is saying, drink water, move your body, kind of maybe stop sitting on the floor for a little bit. And I'm like, no, I have to finish this because I will lose my concentration if I don't. So, who to shed is next, okay? The Wheel of Fortune. Ooh. I don't. That surprises me. Shed the Wheel of Fortune. Shed the expectation that someone else is going to give your abundance to you. Okay, because you are going to give your abundance to you, and it's probably going to be in a weird way. It's probably going to be in a way that no one could have anticipated, even you. You were meant for something big in this lifetime, otherwise you wouldn't be aligning with this message, right? You wouldn't be willing to be the villain in other people's stories, or even sometimes in your own, if you weren't here to do something, to be some sort of a change, to lead some sort of a group. And I feel like you're going to lead people just by being yourself. You don't need to try. You don't need to try to attract followers. You don't need to do the gimmicks. You don't need to do any of it. So let go of I'm getting like the structure, right? Let go of the structure that other people need to have because it's not even going to work for you anyway. Other people who are not you, are not here to do the same things as you, in order for them to be successful, they have to follow certain rules. Rules like that don't apply to you because you're not. I'm trying to say this in a kind way about them because it's not like they're wrong or anything. It's just not right for you. You're not you're not meant to follow anybody else. You're meant to listen to some people, right? You're meant to check yourself sometimes, but you are not meant to follow a mold, follow a path that is predetermined by anyone else's plan, right? You are made to follow a path that, even if it is predetermined, it's from your ancestors, it's from the gods, it's from spirit, it's from the universe. It's just kind of, it's bigger than you. And so nothing that you all the rules that you see other people trying to follow, don't worry about them. Don't get yourself in trouble, but don't spend your time worrying about the things that make other people worried because you aren't other people. You're your own unique self. And the second you compare yourself to anyone else is the second that you lose momentum. Okay, so this fool's journey is about the individual, right? The magician, the hierophant. Yeah, so you are made to be a leader of people like you. And then, you know, it's funny because people like me are leaders. So I'm just made to be a leader of leaders. And so I'm not made to be a leader of people who want to follow a step by step program. I'm made to help people determine what they can do to step into their highest power and their highest good and achieve then their highest potential, right? So, with the Wheel of Fortune as a thing to shed all preconceived notions about abundance, money, what you think you need to do to make money, like needing to save money. Actually, for you to gain abundance, you have to spend money. You have to show the universe that you're willing to put out as much as you're taking in. And I'm not saying don't like create a savings account, but I am saying you have to spend a little money and you have to spend it on yourself in order for this to work. So it doesn't have to be the biggest, fanciest things. I mean, like, you need to show the universe that you value yourself. So, like, if you need new underwear, buy new underwear. If you need new bras, buy new bras. If you're feeling really down on yourself, and one of the things that you do is get manicures, not me, obviously, um, but get a manicure. Spend money on quality, not quantity. You don't have to buy many things. If you're looking to if you're looking to um, start on TikTok, invest in a light, invest in, if you need to, invest in a decent phone. If you don't already have a decent phone, invest in a tripod. That's all you really need. A light, a tripod, and a message, and a phone. Other people need gimmicks, but you don't. You are so unique that there is no gimmick that can even come close to what you offer, okay? Like, you're just so yourself. And now that you've found the courage to be yourself, you're kind of going to fly in the face of the status quo and even how people go about making money. But think about this, okay? Especially as women, we were not ever taught how to be entrepreneurs, which is interesting because entrepreneurs are largely women. We were taught how to save and be careful because you might lose your resources, right? You might. We all probably have at some point. I mean, once you reach an age where you are no longer the maiden and you step into the mother, like I have, you are, you've probably experienced financial hardship. And it probably had something to do, in my case, it had to do with the fact that I wasn't prioritizing my own needs. So my financial hardship came from medical bills. Thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands, in the tens of thousands, tens to $100,000 in medical bills. Spent trying to figure out what was wrong with me, but nothing was wrong with me. The only thing that was wrong with me is that I wasn't doing the right thing. I wasn't giving myself the attention I needed. I was putting myself last. Even though to some people it still seemed like I was putting myself first, because I still have this big energy, and this big energy flies in the face of the patriarchy and the church and all the organizations I was a part of. Once I wasn't really ever truly successful until I was truly myself. And by that I mean I do many things well. So, and I'm sure you do too, right? You're not here to do things not well. If I apply my will to something, I tend to manifest it, right? It's happened my entire life. So this reading might be like a whole month of content. Oh my goodness, we are already at an hour, 7 minutes. I meant to do this for maybe 10 minutes. But it got deep, it got spiritual, it got real, you guys. Who to shed is the question, not what to shed, though. So, who to shed the Wheel of Fortune? Shed the people who are trying to tell you what to do. Especially people who are trying to tell you what to do about money and health. Money and health are connected like this. If you do not have good health, you do not have good money, right? And you need good money to support good health. You need good health to support good money. They are inextricably linked. And wellness is in there too. And wellness is self-care, right? So spirituality, self-care, it's all the same. So that's how you step into your queendom. Do you want to know how? Put yourself first for the first time in your life and make a habit of not doing things that do not align with your path. Once you set a path, once spirit shows you the path, because you've probably been successful in other paths, but they haven't brought you fulfillment. They haven't brought you the money. They haven't brought you the health. They haven't brought you the happiness. Find the things that you love to do and do more of those things, and stop doing the things that make you feel bad. There's actually some things that I do or did up until just recently, that after I would do them, I would feel horrible about myself because they weren't who I wanted to be. And they're things that might surprise you. I felt horrible about standing up for my own needs. I felt horrible about putting others before myself, specifically. I felt horrible about allowing my thoughts to be diminished. I felt horrible about being railroaded by people in power, perceived power. I now realize that no one has power over me, and no one ever has. No God, no man, no woman, no child, no system of belief has any power over me anymore, because I've been through hell and back enough times that I finally learned the lesson. And the lesson is, you must treat yourself like a goddess or a god. I'm not saying you worship yourself, but I'm saying you put yourself on a pedestal compared to other people. And that sounds so selfish, but I don't know how else to say it. Maybe I'll find a better way to say this someday. You cannot find happiness without doing what brings you happiness. If you love dancing and you think you shouldn't for some reason, do it anyway. If you love, I'm just speaking from experience, if you love tarot and your whole life you've been told not to do it, but your whole life you've been wanting to, in my case that's true, wanting to do witchcraft in general, wanting to connect more deeply with nature instead of going to church, wanting to question authority because authority is stupid, wanting to make my own path. All of those things they take bravery because they're outside of what people expected of me. I was brought up to be somewhat diminutive and to put a certain person in my family's needs above my own and everyone else's. An entire family of 7 people revolved around one person and their erratic behavior and emotional needs. And I think that's a story for many people. And so that's why it took me until my 30s to even get to a point where I could. My thought was justified, but it's not even justified. I could embody my full self. I could put myself first in the way that men do, in the way that the church does, in the way that all of the patriarchal structures that exist, even within women, in the way that they do. Any status quo should be evaluated before you follow it at all, right? Any rule should be evaluated before you follow it. And that might get you in trouble, but it's not real trouble, right? It's like you might lose a job, but something better will come along, right? If you decide you're going to live differently, you may lose people and things and places and access to things within your old life. I mean, you will. But you will also be so much happier. And then people look at you and say, she's so selfish because she made herself happy. That's not selfish. Selfish people are people who don't care about other people and only care about themselves. I just have chosen to flip the paradigm from making sure everyone else is okay all the time to making sure I'm okay, I'm settled, so that then I can be of service to others. It's still a service model. It's just, if I'm the one providing the service, then I have to be able to provide good service. And in order for me to provide good service, I have to be rested and healthy and, hygienic. and I have to eat, and I have to drink water, and I have to take the meds that I need to take every day to not have migraines and PTSD attacks and things. Like, I need to put my needs as paramount as compared to before when I put my needs as bottom, right? So it's really, it's not a change from like only caring about other people to only caring about yourself. It's a change from making sure that you, as the service provider, as the leader, as the whatever you want to be, the person who's giving your energy to other people, that energy has to be good energy. No one wants a leader who's depleted. They can't give anything. And when they do give things, then the things that they give feel bad to them, and then they think people are taking advantage of them. And people might be, but you aren't taking advantage of them by putting your health first. It's kind of a long game though. This isn't easy. There's no quick fix to this. This takes time and effort, and that's why I recommend that you get a coach, and I recommend that you book me as a coach, because this is what I do. If you like me, if you like my energy, please reach out. Please book. I am expecting to be able to start this new venture in June or July, depending how things go. So I'm very excited. I know exactly what my message is. I know exactly how to help people according to my own paradigm, and I cannot wait to do it. But it's probably the least impulsive thing I've ever done, even if it feels the most impulsive to the people around me, because I'm going slowly. I'm planning, I'm observing, I'm watching, I'm slowly putting my foot out there to see what people even like about my message and what can be, one, monetized and also understood by other people, and see how I can bring these lofty ideals down to practicality, right? How to make the Aquarius more Capricorn. The final, oh no, there's two more. This is a long reading. Okay, this one is for how will this turn out? 5 of Swords in reversed. That's not great. Sorry, it's gonna turn out. In this one, we got Saturn and Aquarius, right? It's gonna turn out, you're gonna be brilliant. You're going to make changes. You are going to be the change with the 5 of Swords, but you'll rub people wrong, and it's okay. Just know that you will. Expect that. Don't be surprised when it happens, okay? Because those people are not your people, and it's okay that they don't resonate. You are not put here to resonate with everyone on the planet, okay? You are put here to be you and to attract the people who are meant to be attracted to you. So wave your freak flag high, right? See, he's waving a flag. And it's in reverse because this is not easy. Okay? So you're not, excuse me, I need to move. Oh, did you hear that? That's what happens when you sit for too long. Okay, so especially when you have ADHD and you're like, there's a lot sitting. Okay, so Swords has to do with ideas, element of air, and there is some swiftness and there is some harshness to your message. Even if it's not intended to be harsh, it will come across as harsh to some people. It's okay. As soon as you recognize that you are not here to people please, you are not here to make other people happy anymore. You are here to find your tribe, send a certain message out in the world that is not even through you, it's through the ancestors, it's through spirit. So, be humble about it. I don't think that you're really full of yourself person, though. You are probably, if you're here and you resonate with me, you're probably an extremely conscientious, humble person who is overly talented in way too many areas. And overly, I don't mean like you're too talented. I mean like you are so good at the things that you do well that it's intimidating to other people and they don't know how to take it. Because not only are you really good, like in my case, I'm a professional pianist. I'm really good at it. I'm really, really, really good at it. Um, Incredibly good at it. And I'm really good at being a psychic because I've been one my whole life. Um, I learn things really quickly and I integrate them really well. Um, I am a trained classical soprano and I do that very well. And I am good at drawing. I am good at art. I don't do it as much as I do more the music, and I'm a really good dancer. All of these things are natural gifts. And on top of it, I'm really pretty and I dress well, right? So, or at least with a certain style, right? I dress like myself. um, so this is a lot of things. To most people have one thing that they do pretty well. You know, I also am really good at making money. Like it's kind of natural for me to build a business. I've done it before, I'm doing it now again, and it's really easy for me to know and see what to do. Um, I just need sometimes a little bit of information about the how and the what, but I always get it done. The things that I want to do, I always do. Um, so I am at this point, I'm the queen of my own life, right? I live in queendom. I am it, and that's okay. But you should know that your message, it's cutting a little bit. It will cut people out of your life. It will shine a reflection back into people's face that they don't always like. Um, you will look brazen to some people. You will look like, how dare she or he or they to some people. People will not get it, okay? The people who aren't meant to get it will really not get it. And they'll be completely off base about you. And it will be your job to not care what they think, okay? Because you've been raised to worry about other people. If you were raised as a woman, if you were raised in the church, if you were raised to believe that your life needs to be of service to others, this is still of service to others. This is still within that. It's just kind of a little bit too, you know, not Christian for the people I grew up with. But you are meant to be different. You've never not been different. Every time you've tried to be not different, it's backfired so hard. Every time you try to fit in school, every time you try to fit in social groups, you have never been able to fit into anything, right? You have been able to kind of like bip and bop around and people like you, right? Because you're magnetic, you're interesting, people like you, people admire you maybe, but people do not get you, okay? The people who get you are few and far between, but those people are worth finding. And you don't have to find them. They'll find you. They'll like show up. Like one of my most aligned people I've ever met is someone I booked a massage with once. And my best friend I met on the internet in a witch group. And I completely manifested her and she's perfect. And my husband I found naturally also. So I mean, like the people who matter in your life, the big three, right? Like your spiritual friends, your creative friends, and your, okay, maybe it's not just three, but like your best friend, if you're lucky enough to get one, I recommend that you try to get one, because it, honestly, I couldn't find a best friend for my entire life. I had good friends, never best friend. And now I have a best friend, and I've had her for a year, and she's my best friend. And I've somehow known her my entire life because we live parallel lives. Okay, but this is going to turn out fine. It's going to turn out a little spicy. You're gonna be a little spicy, okay? It's fine. I mean, you didn't come here to live a boring life. You didn't come here to be unnoticed. You didn't come here to be normal. You can't be if you try, so stop trying. Um, you came here with amazing gifts so that you can show them. And sometimes, like with me, the trick is, oh, I also write really well. Um, the trick is to find the thing that, or the things, and combine them somehow into something that can actually serve you and getting your message across. Because a lot of your talents are going to be kind of just for you. Okay, like it's kind of just going to be something that feeds your soul, and that's also valid. Not everything that you do has to make you money. But you're probably not here because you don't want money. Okay, final message. I'm going to actually have this one jump out at me. Final message for all of this. This is a big reading. It's 11 cards. Okay. 5 of Wands. Your final message is that you don't have to fight anyone to get to the top, because you already are the top. There's no competition for you. Stop looking toward other people. Stop looking at other people as someone who could potentially get what you have, because no one has what you have. Other people will maybe try to copy you, but they won't be able to do it like you. I'm getting the energy of like Prince, right? Nobody could Prince but Prince. Prince is the only Prince, right? Beyonce is the only Beyonce. Think about the people who are just like, they're just effortlessly talented in the areas that they are talented, and they are uniquely themselves. That's how you are, okay? So I'm not saying bad things don't happen to people. I mean, Prince died of an overdose. Beyonce had things happen in her marriage. But, and like Taylor Swift, like things are always happening to Taylor Swift. Almost like she's manifesting them. But she's also manifested millions being herself, okay? So you are not going to have an easy life. You are going to have an important life. You are going to have a life that matters to other people outside of your little circle. But saying that, your little circle is all that really matters, okay? So your little circle, your family that you create, your friends, the people who you love and love you back for who you actually are, not who they want you to be. Unconditional love. Keep your circle small, right? Keep your circle down to just the people who are actually the right people. Smart women have small circles. Smart women don't talk about other women. Smart women talk about ideas. Unless you're saying good things about other people. I mean, I feel a little called out because sometimes I've said negative things about people, but I always feel bad afterwards. The things you say matter. If your life path, if you're a swords, the words you say are some of the most important things, okay? The rest of it is just how you get your message out. You're going to know more about other people than they know about you, always. Um, because you are able to see from the outside in. And as such, you will always be an outsider. Okay, so you're going to have to find your power from within yourself. There is no power for you that can be given to you. Maybe you'll be given like an inheritance or something, but your personal power comes from within yourself. It comes from taking the things that you've learned and making them, transmuting them, becoming something better because of them. Okay, so all of your experience in your all of the experiences in your life have led you to this moment of pivotal change where you go almost a complete 180 with everything that you were raised to believe into everything that you know to be right. It's a difference of conditioning and wisdom. Knowing or being taught, being talked at, being taught versus discovering. And I know I'm speaking to a group of very smart people because you have to be to think differently. But you have no competition because the normal people, so everyone else except a really small group of us, they can't compete with you. You also can't compete with them. It's like comparing apples and oranges, but those are even still fruit. I mean, it's like comparing grass and the moon. Just trying to think of things that are completely different categories. Like there's no one who can do what you do the way you do it because you're doing it your own way, right? I just got that like I did it my way, right? Frank Sinatra. You're gonna do it your own way. You're gonna be Prince. You're gonna be Beyonce. You're gonna do things the way you're gonna be Taylor Swift. You're gonna be the ones who are like taking the status quo and flipping it on its head to be better. Okay? There's a reason that people who are successful, like majorly successful, are the people who do it themselves. The people who break away from. Okay, so I'm a musical person, right? So if you break away from like verse, bridge, chorus, right? If you break away from that, that's like the standard pop and country. 146 beats per minute or whatever. Like all music on the radio is the same. Okay, if you break away from that and then you just start to become Jimi Hendrix and create things that are transcendent, they can't compete with you and you can't compete with them because you can't fit into their mold and they cannot reach your level of innovation, and it's fine. The world needs all kinds, actually, and you have a valuable place. The opportunities that fall in your path that feel aligned, take them. But be discerning, okay? Because as soon as people start noticing you, they're gonna put little offers in your path. I think of in Parks and Recreation, which I've watched 1,000 times because I love Leslie Knope. So in Parks and Recreation, after what's his name? I don't remember. Okay, after the main love interest who marries Leslie Knope, Ben. After Ben Wyatt, after Ben Wyatt manages Leslie's campaign, which is a small thing. You know, it's just something he did for his partner, and he happened to be a genius at it, right? After he does that, he suddenly, everywhere he goes, there's offers, just job offers. He goes into someone else's job interview and gets offered their job. He walks down the street, gets offered a job. Suddenly he's working like on a congressional campaign, and suddenly he's like working in a like nonprofit that's like actually making a lot of money, and or like he's working for like big things, and he's the reason that they want him is because he's him. It's not because he fits a formula. And Leslie Knope gets noticed by the Department of Parks and Recreation, the National Department, and the Department of Interior because of one little proposal that she put in and was a disappointing experience for her because she didn't get to actually run a meeting and do a meeting with someone who she looked up to. Instead, they found her report years later, after it could even have been implemented really and approved by them. And suddenly she's given an offer to work for national parks. I mean, like, that's how the universe actually works. Show up as your true self, do what you do well, and be out about it. Be proud about it. Just do it. Just be it. And suddenly, when you live in your aligned path, suddenly doors open everywhere. And then you get to choose between so many doors. And honestly, the best path forward, in the case of Leslie Knope, she was supposed to move to Chicago or something, and she ended up being like, actually, I have this great space here in Pawnee, Indiana, where I actually want to live. So let's move this branch of national parks to Pawnee, Indiana instead of Chicago. You know, like that's how things work. When you are really in your path, opportunities are limitless, kind of. Like you'll know what's right for you because you will actually be the one who comes up with the solution. Like you'll be presented with 4 offers or something, and or 2 offers, and you'll make your own path instead of picking one because you're you, and that's what you do. That's how you do things. All right, I think it's time to go. Love you all. Thank you so much. Blessed be.